welcome to Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein here on Live TV International. And this special edition, we're really honored and it's a real pleasure to host His Excellency Ambassador Georgy Borisenko, the Russian ambassador to Egypt, talking about our distinctive bilateral ties. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for this exclusive that comes timely and as we are celebrating Russia's Victory Day. Happy Victory Day celebrations.
Clearly this is so, and it was a big honor for us that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to Moscow to celebrate together with us the Victory Day and the day of the 80th anniversary of the end of the World War II. And you are totally right that our relations are very deep, and actually they started already in the 16th century, but especially they started to develop in 1950s when the Soviet Union helped Egypt to nationalize the Suez Canal, to build the Egyptian armed forces, to construct some energy and industrial facilities. And during the last 10 years, during the presidency of Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, we have a new boom in our relations, and especially due to his cordial relationship with our President Putin and mutual understanding between them. We continue to develop different economic projects, and we continue to cooperate at the international arena. And since last year, both of our countries are members of the BRICS group, so we are really close partners.
The special significance of Russia's Victory Day, what does it mean for the Russian people?
Victory Day is actually the major holiday, political holiday in Russia, because World War II, which is called Great Patriotic War in Russia, caused enormous casualties to my country. The Soviet Union lost 27 million citizens during the World War II, and it was a very big strike for our industry, for the whole life in the Soviet Union, but still Soviet people managed to win the Nazi Germany and allies of Nazi Germany, and actually it's a very important event for our national mind, for our national consolidation. And we are thankful that our Egyptian friends also celebrate with us, because Egypt was also at the same site during the World War II. Egypt also belonged to the anti-Hitler coalition, so we were allies during World War II. And we appreciate all efforts made by Egypt and Egyptians during World War II in order to defeat Nazi Germany and to win this war.
This special year is really significant and commemoration of the special day globally. How is it celebrated globally, Mr. Ambassador?
I know that many events are happening during these days in different countries of the world. For instance, all Russian embassies all over the globe stage different receptions, concerts, exhibitions in different regions, countries, continents. And we know that many countries celebrate themselves because they also participated in the war. Unfortunately, in some European countries, the current authorities forgot the history and they right now they even say that Nazi Germany was not very bad, and maybe it was better if it would be better if Nazi Germany could win during World War II. This is an unfortunate situation in some Western European countries, but in general we see that most of the mankind understands the significance of the victory which was achieved 80 years ago and which stopped the spread of Nazism through the globe.
The cordial meeting between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Russia's President Vladimir Putin is always expressing and reflecting the strong bond and partnership between both leaders, this sense of friendship and this sense of charisma between both leaders.
This is true, and in 2018 both our presidents signed even a special treaty on strategic partnership between our countries. And we are officially strategic partners right now, and we show this in our bilateral relations. We show this on the stage of the United Nations, where we are like-minded countries and are working together to develop different conventions, for instance, on fighting cybercrimes, on fighting terrorism, and many other international treaties. And we have even close economic cooperation, and the significance of relations between our presidents is really very big, and because they encourage all businessmen, all ministries to work together and to move the whole structure of our relations forward.
The Egyptian armed forces took part in Victory Day parade celebrations. Isn't it really symbolic this year?
Yes, this is true. It was an unbelievable event, and we are proud that Egyptian soldiers paraded through the Red Square together with Russian soldiers and with soldiers from some other countries, and it was really very symbolic, showing that our countries are very close in all spheres, including the military sphere, and really Russian-Egyptian relations in the military field are very deep. And during the attrition war, up to 30,000 Soviet troops were on the Egyptian soil fighting together with their Egyptian brothers in this war. And some Soviet soldiers lost their lives fighting during this attrition war at the Egyptian ground. And even now we have very good relations, including joint military exercises.
تشارك في المسيرة وحدة عرض من الشرطة العسكرية التابعة للقوات المسلحة لجمهورية مصر العربية.
Agreements binding both countries are in different fields, among them in the field of defense, education, and energy.
Yes, we have many Egyptian students studying in Russia, and you mentioned energy. Russia is, and Russian state corporation Rosatom is constructing the first Egyptian nuclear power plant in Eldabra. And when constructed, it will be a new symbol of Egyptian-Russian friendship, same as the High Aswan Dam, which was built with Soviet support in 1960s. But the capacity of the Eldaba nuclear power plant will be twice higher as the capacity of the Aswan High Dam. So we see that the potential of our friendship is becoming even bigger and bigger.
The recent screening of the Come and See film is reflecting the strong cultural relations between both countries. How are we giving a boost to our cultural relations that reflect on people-to-people relations as well, and bringing both people together, Egyptians and Russians?
We believe that cultural ties are very important because, as you said, totally right, that people-to-people contact are helping to strengthen the mutual understanding between two nations. When our people interact with each other or see some movies about their life in their respective countries, they understand the nature of their friends, and they see that the people in another country have same problems as you have at home, and same family problems with children and elsewhere in their jobs. And these are ordinary people, same as you. And this is very important to see this and to get more mutual understanding between nations. And Russia and Egypt has intensive people-to-people ties because we have mixed families. We have many Russians coming to Egypt every year for vacations. We have many Egyptians working or studying or living in Russia. And so we can say that many Russians know Egypt very good, and the same is for Egyptians who also see some Russian movies or listen to Russian music. And we appreciate the support by Egyptian authorities for all those cultural and people-to-people contacts.
Talking investment and giving a boost to the economy, an unprecedented achievements taking place in the field of economy and investment, and also in the Russian investments. We have, of course, the Russian industrial zone in the Suez Canal area, and strong achievements in that regard.
Last year, in 2024, we have a new record trade between our countries. It exceeded $9 billion US, and we believe that it can grow further. And Russia is the major supplier of the wheat for Egypt. Last year, Russia delivered to Egyptians more than 10 million tons of wheat. And actually, a big amount of bread in Egypt is made from the Russian wheat. And we are proud that our Egyptian partners have confidence on Russia, in Russian agriculture, and in other Russian goods and commodities. And Russia is buying many Egyptian oranges, potatoes, and other fruits and vegetables. And we can see these Egyptian fruits and vegetables in many Russian department stores across the whole Russia. And so we know each other. We learn each other also through these commercial ties. And this is really very important, because this helps to foster both our economic relations and our people-to-people understanding.
Also in the field of tourism, Mr. Ambassador, as Egypt is preparing for the inauguration of the project of the century, GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum. We're definitely expecting more Russian tourists to come to Egypt and explore GEM.
I am sure that many Russian tourists will come to see the GEM, and it is already attractive to many who are visiting right now. And when it will be opened in the full scale on July the 3rd, I am sure that even more Russian tourists will come directly to Cairo to watch not only pyramids but also the GEM and other museums. And much more Russian tourists will travel from Hurghada or Sharm el-Sheikh or Alexandria from the beach vacation to Cairo to see this museum. And last year, more than 1,600,000 Russian tourists visited Egypt. Many of them spent holidays at the Red Sea or at the Mediterranean, but hundreds of thousands of them went to the Nile Valley, visiting many exciting places of interest in Egypt, all these historical places like pyramids or Fayum or Luxor or Abu Simbel and all others. And I can say that Russian pupils, Russian students, they start to teach history in Russian schools from the history of Egypt, because Egypt was the cradle of the statehood in the world. And that's why many Russians, all Russians, know Egypt pretty well, especially ancient Egypt, and then they grew up, they visit Egypt for holidays, and they see the hospitality of Egyptians and all beauties of Egypt, of its culture, its nature. So most of Russians, millions, tens of millions of Russians love Egypt. We hope that our relations will continue to strengthen. I said that we are like-minded countries on many political issues. For instance, we have the same approach for the situation in the Middle East, the situation over Gaza Strip and over Libyan affairs or Sudan affairs and elsewhere. And this means that we can easily continue to cooperate and to enhance our mutual understanding and to work together in order to stop all these conflict situations and to achieve peaceful solutions for many of these conflicts. So I am very positive about the future development of our relations, especially because both our leaders are eager to develop friendly relations between our countries, and because we really do have deep roots of friendship between our nations, between our people, and this friendship is already inside us, and we really have both our people have very good feelings towards each other. So I am sure that our relations have very good prospects.
Also in the field of soft power that can bring both people to people closer together.
This is totally true, and Russia is very big and multicultural, multi-religious, and it's interesting, I'm sure, for many Egyptians to travel across Russia, visiting not only Moscow or St. Petersburg, but some sites in the Far East. Yes, or in Kamchatka, which is 9 hours, at the distance of 9 hours flying time from Moscow. And you're totally right that it's very important to make familiar our people with the culture, the nature of our countries. And in Russia we also have many movies, many documentaries about Egypt, about the history not only of ancient Egypt but of the modern Egypt, or history of Egypt during last centuries. And as I said, many Russians are visiting Egypt with great pleasure, not only for the beach vacation, but in order to explore all nice places Egypt have, and Egypt shares with the global community, because your history and your culture is really fascinating.
Your Excellency, a message that you would like to direct through Nile TV International and maybe to Nile TV International while we are celebrating on the 31st of May, the Media Personnel Day, Media People's Day. Nile TV International, 32 years of excellence. What would you say?
I wish you much success in all your activities, and I am sure that your activities will help to promote the development of your country, and will help your people to get information about not only Egypt but about the developments in the whole world. And I especially appreciate your efforts in strengthening their relations with Russia and making your audience familiar with events in Russia and with Russian history and Russian culture. And as I said, Russia reciprocally and is always happy to have very intensive cultural, economic and all other ties with our Egyptian friends.
Your Excellency, Georgy Borisenko, Russian Ambassador to Egypt, thank you so much for joining Nile TV International. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you.
That was our special exclusive with His Excellency Ambassador Georgy Borisenko, the Russian Ambassador to Egypt, exploring bilateral relations binding both countries, Egypt and Russia. The sky is always the limit.